morning and welcome to this little training on how to create an active flip chart. And what we're going to be doing is looking at how can we create an interactive graph using Activ Inspire, so that way kids can be able to use bar graphs. And graphing is important, and it's a question that's on the PARCC exam or on the CMAS exam that we saw. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up Activ Inspire, and I'm going to have a blank flip chart here, and I'm going to come over into my resource browser, and under my backgrounds that I have here, I have one that says XY lined, and that would be under grids, and you can choose pretty much what you want, but this one is really good because I can just grab this and pop it right there, and now I have a nice little graph in graph paper. Depending on how you want this to work out for your class is up to you and for your lesson. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a line right here, and this line I'm going to make it blue. So up top I'm going to choose the blue color, and I'm going to make it so it's an XY graph. If you just want to have the positive coordinates and not negative coordinates, then you can create your graph more to the left hand side. But I'm going to create mine in the middle. I'm going to create a line, drag it straight across here, and then I'm going to drag another line close to the middle as possible. And here we go, another line right there. If you need to move it, you can always click your selection tool and you can move it over if it was a little bit off. So I'm going to leave that right about there. Okay, so there's the start of my little graph, and I'm going to create a couple more lines in here just because I want some little values. So I'm going to put a line here, and if you want to, what you can do is you can duplicate these, so that way you don't have to keep drawing lines. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to right click on there and duplicate and duplicate and duplicate. Oops. Duplicate. So then I'm just going to start moving them up over here so they're on my graph. Alright. And then if you want to grab them all, you can highlight them all. Well, let's try it this way. You can hold the control key down, grab all of these, and then duplicate those one more time. I didn't want to work that way, so I'll just keep duplicating them one at a time so I can get up to the top. And then if I want to duplicate that one, just give myself one more line up here. There we go. And there we go. Alright, so I got all my little lines right here. Now if I want to add some values to them, I can go use my text tool, and I'll just come right over here. I'll say 10 and move it right over here. You can always adjust your font if you want to, and I'm going to make each one of them a separate value. So if I want to move that one, I want to move this one over because I don't like where it is, and I can move it right there. It's kind of up to you as to how you want to do that. Back to my text tool, 30, alright, and 40. And we're just going to keep going until I'm going increments of 10. And you can do this for whatever values you want. If you want decimals, if you want fives, if you want ones, whatever it is that you're teaching and however you want to do that, you can just add in the values. So now I'm going to take my shape tool and I'm going to create some bars over here. The first one, I'm just going to grab a square tool right here, and I'm going to have both of these boxes selected on red, so that way I have a red box that's going to go right there. It's going to be the start of one of my other ones. Then I'm just going to duplicate this one as well twice. Okay, and then I'm going to move these over. Okay, and now I'm going to change the colors on these ones just to make it a little bit better. So I click on this when I click on the shape here and I click on blue, it's going to take the outside and make this blue. Now if I click on the paint bucket and go blue, then it's going to fill in the rest of it blue. So I'm going to do the same thing with this one over here, but I'm going to make this one green. And I'll take the paint bucket, click on green again, and now it's all green. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some arrows right below, an up and down arrow, so that way they can increase and decrease in size. So I'm going to go and back to my shapes tool. I got some arrows here. I'm going to create, these are just all going to be red arrows. I'm just going to create an arrow that looks like this. That's fine. I'm going to click my selection tool. I'm going to rotate it around like that. Okay. And then I'm going to duplicate that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See if that's good. Alright, let's move these over here. One there. I can flip that one around because I want this to go point down. You can see that designing sometimes takes a little bit of time. But not too bad. And then I got one more duplicate right there, and I'm going to flip that one around too. Alright, so there's all those, and if I want to select all these ones, I might want to give it a little different color on the outside just to make it look a little bit better. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on one of my arrows. I'm going to select my arrow. Alright, I'm going to go over to my action browser, which is like the spin top. And all the way down towards the bottom, I have these buttons that say stretch. Stretch different things. So I'm going to stretch the top incrementally. But what do I want to stretch? So I'm going to target my red shape, which is that one right there. And I'm going to say OK. And now how much? Well, I did this beforehand, so I know that it's going to be 40. Is the value that I want, so that way when it goes up, it's going to go up to 20 and then 30 every time I press that up button. So I'm going to press apply changes. And now I'm going to click the down arrow, and I'm still going to take the top, but I want the top to stretch incrementally, so stretch top incrementally. And I'm still going to click on that red shape right there. And then this time I want it to go minus 40 because I want it to head in the opposite direction. And I'm going to press apply changes. So now, if I click, you can see this action arrow. If I click here, it goes up 10, 20, 30, 50, 60, 70. And if I click down, it goes down. And that's what I want to do. And then I would just go ahead and do the exact same thing for the blue and the green. So I'm going to click here one more time. Stretch the top incrementally. What am I going to stretch incrementally? I'm going to do shape 9. It's the blue one. And how much? 40 in this particular case. Now if you have different graph paper that you're using or your lines are a little bit different, you might have to figure out how many pixels that is from your first increment to your second increment, or from 10 to 20 in this case. So if you use this graph paper, then it's 40. And then I'll take the bottom arrow and I'm going to stretch this one. Stretch the top incrementally, still the blue. So that's shape 9. This one's going to be minus 40 because I want it to head down. Apply changes. And then finally the green, which is shape 11. Oh, 10. And then 40. Apply. And then we're going to take the bottom one, stretch the top incrementally. Shape 10. OK. And minus 40. Apply changes. And then if you save it, right here, Control Save, it's going to save to this point right here. So now when I click up, 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 down, just make sure that they all work. And then if I want to reset, I can click the reset button right there, and then they all go back to the last save point. So that's quick tutorial on how to create interactive graphs for the kids. I hope you enjoyed it.